Why is it saying this video is unavailable? Can anyone see me? Because I'm on the watch page and it says it's unavailable. I'm on. Okay, it's just that the watch page is saying it's unavailable, video unavailable, it says. Put the chat up there. Hi everyone, how you doing? Video unavailable, yeah. So I've just thought, we see you. We see and hear you. All right, okay. Let me just refresh the page and see if it comes up. I can't see it. It says this video is unavailable. There. Well, I'm here now. I can see it now. There you go. I'm on. I'm on. 1984, we see you. Oh. All right. Thanks for coming back. Like I said, thanks, P900. Cool pics. Let me know that I shared that. I didn't know. I'd shared that, so I've got to get used to doing it. Sharing screen without sharing that. We see you, hear you, just saying unavailable. Well, I've just refreshed the watch page and it's come on now. So if you try refreshing the watch page. We see you, hear you, just saying unavailable. You're doing sound, mate. Rock on. Right. Yeah. I just thought I'd share that little bit with you. I'll do a video on it. I'll do it in maybe 2, maybe 3 parts because it's quite long. And I'll leave a link in the description when I do the video. Wait a sec. I've got itchy eyeball. Oh. Yeah, like I said, I'll do a video on that PDF I've just shown you in the last thing. Well, like I said, I'm gonna have to do it in maybe 2, maybe 3 parts because it is quite long, and I need to keep it quite short for each video because attention span and stuff like that. If you're on a device, people swipe the old one away, then load the again. Hi, Tony Dixon. Hi, Chris Hayes. Flat Reality, Jamie Brown, Luke Marshall, Richie BFE. How you doing? Sandy123, Andy AK Rudolph, Eshy and Sack, P900 Cool Pics. So thank you again, P900, Sandra. See you, hear you. Flat Reality, hi. Chris Hayes. Eyes Wide Shut, how you doing? Kaz22, how you doing? Right, yep. All right, thanks, Sandra. I'm gonna have a drink of tea a sec, mate. Well, it's going cold now. Going cold. Hi, Rebecca's Way. Baron Bronskovich, how you doing again? Yeah, sorry about that. I had to shut down and start up again because I shared the link, the watch page, the link page thing. So I said I apologize for that. Everyone having to go away and come back again. I said it's like exam I've done this, so I'm gonna get used to it and figure out what to do and that. So yeah, so what we saying? Yeah, like I said, we've all got to learn what they call it, logical fallacy, emphomemes, syllogisms, the trivium, basically. That's it. Eratosthenes fit. Let me get this out. Eratosthenes' theory worked on the sun's rays hitting Earth parallel, yet during lunar eclipses, NASA, etc., say the sun's rays hit Earth at angles to cause a smaller shadow. They contradict each other. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Tony Dixon. Yeah. But yeah, it's easily done. Rebecca's Way. It's only the second time I've done this. I did a one the other day, and it was private. I left it private, and I just to try it out and try and get the watch page up without showing and stuff like that. And I managed to do it, but now I'm live. That's happened. So yeah. So like I said, anyway, we need to learn this logical fallacy and stuff. We have to be able to see through all the bullshit, basically, and discern for ourselves and see all the bullshit, so we can see through it all. There's a reason why it was taken out of the state education system. I got a video on my channel about it, about the Prussian education system, which is what the state education system's based upon, how it started and what it's based upon. It's to keep you in servitude and keep you spiritually down and stuff like that and everything else. Hi, David Marks. How you doing? Yeah, August is when you go live. Yeah, it does. I don't know why. I don't know why it all goes belly up when you go live. I want to see the globe model. People keep talking about it as if it exists. Where's this rock with bodies of water clinging to it? Anyone seen it? No one's seen it because it doesn't exist beyond belief. It doesn't exist. It said water. The properties of water, and water defines level. You can't get anything but level with water. Like we know, we use water for construction. Well, before spirit levels and laser levels and all sort of stuff, they use water for construction. So they've only seen the globe on TV. Yeah. Or composite images or CGI, stuff like that. You've never seen real video or real pictures. My laptop just turned on whilst the lid was closed and started talking about bombing and soldiers being deployed. I'm well freaked out. Jesus. How's it done that then, Richie? B. It's turned on its own. The lid's closed. Huh? Not been on your laptop for days. That's strange, that. Strange. Yeah, if someone wants to come on, more than welcome. If someone wants to come on, you can email me and I'll send the link. I'll put the email in here now. I'll put the link, not the link, I'm not going to put the link in. No, that would be stupid. I'm going to put in the... Andy, it's cool, Steve. Thanks, Sandra. I'm going to put the thing in here now. steve.h.v.globe.earth.denier@gmail.com. Steve.h.v.globe.earth.denier@gmail.com is the email. Want to email in? We'll see how it goes. Yep, the burden of proof is on the spinning globe believes to back up the ridiculous claim. Yep, it is. I had a troll in Phuket Words latest video earlier. So no, the burden of proof's on the flat Earth and all this lot because you're making that claim. And I was like, no, the original claim is the heliocentric model. So the burden of proof lies with the heliocentric model, and to say otherwise is a logical fallacy called the burden of proof fallacy. So they seem to have nothing. They have nothing but logical fallacy, sophist arguments, and stuff like that. They've got no practical examples of any of their claims. They've got mathematical models, but maths is a formal science. It's a language used to describe. There's nothing practical about it. You need practicality. You need to be able to show it. It's like the big man in the shed, beyond the imaginary curve. Dell, he says it's like being back at school, which it is, because I remember being at school when kids come up to you and they go, "Yeah, my dad's got a Ferrari and a villa in the south of France." So you said to him, he said, "Well, can you show me?" No. Well, then you're lying. If you can't show me, then you're lying. Simple as. You've got to be able to show your claims practically. If you're making a claim, you've got to be able to show it practically. This is why I try not to make claims on anything, because if I can't show it practically myself, then I try not to make a claim on anything. I don't represent any straw man maps or models or all like that, because we just don't know. We don't know where we are. We just know that water defines level, and we know that, and all the other stuff, no measurable curvature. So I've done a lot of research, Andy, aka Rudolph Hessiansack. Since 2014, I started waking up, and I started off with like illegal fiction and stuff like that. Legalese and all that sort of stuff. Bought some law books and stuff like that. Started looking at all that, and then it went on to like natural remedies and big pharma and stuff like that. And then flat Earth came up about 2 years ago, and I looked into it for about a year. Then I started my channel up about a year ago. It didn't take me long to understand it and go, well, hang on a minute, yeah, you know what I mean? But I had to make sure that I got some sort of a understanding into it. But then after about a year, I started being able to see who was who and who the players were and stuff like that. And I started unsubscribing from all the bigger channels and just started going to the smaller channels and stuff like that. And then I come across Beyond the Imaginary Curve and Harry Growler. And then they were showing about the Trivium and stuff like that. Hi, Chris F.E. Jackson, welcome back. Settling the Trivium and all that sort of stuff. And that seems to help a lot. So I suggest everyone go and look into this stuff. Seriously look into it. So, like I said, I've got some videos on my channel about logical fallacy, syllogisms, enthymemes, stuff like that. And I'll be doing more on that as well, because people need to do this. Do you follow Indie Glow? No, Midnight Gardener. Never heard of Indie Glow. So, now Rebecca's Way again. Tony, they often know they have the burden, but they try it on to see if you buy their switcheroo first. Yep. See that a lot. Sorry, yep, it just came on. I was just finding my charger. No, it's fine. It's great. Reverse psychology to say we have the proof to prove flat Earth, not realizing the burden of proof is totally on them. Yeah, exactly. But then I've got a video about pseudoscience on my channel, which is good. So I suggest you go and watch it. It's a good video. Okay, Richie B. You met me one while you're at it. Not coffee though. I don't drink coffee. Too much caffeine. I drink tea. I'll have a cup of tea. Hope you got some honey. Have you got some honey, Richie B? Hi, Flat Reality. How you doing? In Sheffield too. There's a lot of legal stuff to talk about. Yeah, we'll do. Midnight Guy. I'll have a look. What was his name again? Have a look. And go back up. What was his name again? Indie Glow. Right, I'll just put that in my phone now so I don't forget it. Indie Glow. Let's have a look. I'll just go on here so I don't have to share the thing then. Oh, here we go. This one, Midnight. Honestly, what the hell was that? Oh, there's a. I think we've got a troll in. We got a troll. Just point out the troll's logical fallacy, and they might bugger off. Indie Glow. Indie Glow. Have a look. No, that's not the one, is it? Oh, one sec. Sorry. Just trying to get this thing up. I don't want to. I think I've got it here. Right, I'll have a look at that in a bit. Right. Come back to you now. Sorry about that. Right. First troll wins a prize. Yeah, you can get your ball back, troll, but it'll be flat. So you know. Oh, hang on. I've got a. Thanks, Sandra. Have a look at that. New subscriber. Right, okay. Thanks, Sandra. Right, yeah, I'm back. Sorry. I'll put link in your Hangout, Steve. Right, thanks, Sandra. It's from Sheffield. I'll have a look. Yeah, like I said, I started off with all that. 4 years now. I've been at this. Only 2 years on this though. 2 years now. And you see the same thing time and time again with these heliocentric religion believers. That's all it is, a religion. Heliocentric model is the religion of society. And I suggest, I might do a video yet on it, I don't know, but I suggest people have a look at the 7 characteristics of a cult. It goes on about religious cults a lot in them, but if you look at the 7 characteristics of a cult, you can fit every one of them into society. Every one fits to society. So in my thinking, then society is the cult, and the heliocentric model is the religion of that cult. This is why we get all this. This is why you get all this stuff, all these trolls using logical fallacy and all this other stuff, because they've got nothing for one. Because if they had something practical to show, it would have been shown by now. They would have proved it by now. If they could prove the globe and prove the heliocentric model, they would have proved it by now, practically. Not by visuals and stuff like that, and mathematics and stuff like that. A practical example of their claims. And they can't show a practical example of their claims. Because if they could, they'd have done it by now. Because it's been how many years now? I'd say it's about 2016 for me. Summer 2016, something like that. So Only kidding, Steve, but opening your likes for people to see is a good start. Why is my likes not? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's see. I don't have balls. They're criminal reality denying traitors. Yep, they are criminal reality denying traitors. The traitors to mankind and womankind, obviously. But if I say mankind, I just mean men and women and children and everything else. I just use the word mankind. But the traitors to the fellow man, to the common man, the traitors. They've sold themselves out to the powers that should not be, and they need to stop. They need to come back to the common man and woman, and that obviously. Mary Singer, is it Steve? Best for it on cult, in my opinion. More and hope that just demoralizing you. Exactly, yeah. If the logical fallacy don't work and you point it out, they just come back with ad hominem. That's it. That's all they've got. You point out their logical fallacy and that's it. They either go away, these trolls, or they come back with ad hominem. That's all they've got. Attacking the person, attacking the man. Well, I won't use the word person because I know what that means in law. But from my law books that I bought, law dictionaries. Yeah, they are the traitors, Sandy123, to the common man. But they've probably been told something like, oh, well, hang on a minute. You know what I mean? They've been told one narrative. I mean, and they're just sticking to that narrative, thinking that they're doing the right thing, but they're not. They're doing the wrong thing. People need to know where they are. This is why we've got so much troubles in society, in the cult of society. So many people with mental illnesses and stuff like that. Because they're living a false reality, basically. And it gives them mental disorders, all these globers. And they all think, and all these globers, these trolls, they think they're intelligent, but they're not. They've never been intelligent. The real intelligence is people that can see through all that bullshit. They've got an AI, an artificial intelligence. Because of the education system they've been dragged through, which is the Prussian education system. So, but they think they're intelligent, but they're not. They're just regurgitating all the bullshit that they've been taught. That's it. Exactly, Sandy123. If they had proof of the globe Earth and the heliocentric model, we wouldn't be here now tonight talking about this. Because how many years has it been now? It's been about, I don't know, but I think the first videos that I've seen about it were about 2015, I think. There might be some earlier than that, I don't know. But obviously this has never gone away. Because I've seen articles from the late 1800s and stuff like that saying that people were trying to get the flat earth out and stuff like that. But they just suppressed it and shut everybody up and suppressed it. And now it's just coming back again. So, yeah, copy and paste. That's it. I'm regurgitating all the bullshit they've been taught at school. That's it. That's all they can do. And in the universities and stuff like that. But what they don't realise is all that education they've got and all that money and all that time they've put into that education isn't worth the paper it's written on. Because it's all under the Prussian education system, which just keep you in servitude and keep you morally down and keep you down and everything else. Keep you dumb, basically. And just to regurgitate all the bullshit and just keep, like, spouting it all the time. Thinking that they're intelligent and that, but they're not. They've never been intelligent. They never will be. I think when people go on about artificial intelligence and they're on about computers and robots and stuff like that, no. The artificial intelligence is the people believing that they're intelligent, but it's not a real intelligence. It's an artificial intelligence. So like I said, they've been what they call it, brought up in that system. Birthright. It is our birthright to know exactly where we live, and we have been robbed of our very foundation for centuries. Exactly, Tony Dixon. It's our birthright to know where we live, where we are, who we are. We should know these things, but they keep them from us because they want to keep hold of their so-called power over everybody. They want to keep everybody down here at the bottom, yeah, while they're up here like that, lording over everybody, so they never have to lift a finger in their life. So they get everyone running around doing everything for them. The lazy bastards. That's all they are. Yeah, the lack of honesty is not consistent with their obsessive dedication to censor everybody, distract everybody, and oppress the common people, asking reasonable questions. That's all we're doing. We're asking reasonable questions. Show us your proof. That's all we're asking. To show us the proof. Show it us practically. Show us a scale model. Oh, but we can't, they say, because it's going to be planet-sized. Well, then it can't be tested empirically then. So basically, that's pseudoscience. If you can't show it practically, then that's pseudoscience, I'm afraid. So that's it. Okay, Sandra. What have I got here? I think I've got a message. Hang on a minute. Have a look. Is that you, Andy, a.k.a. Rudolph Hessian Sack? Have you just sent me an email? Not a troll, are you, Andy? Just kidding. Right, I'll try and get you the link now. I'm not sharing the screen, am I? No, right. So I can. No, if you want to come on, Andy, that's fine. Come on. Good to see you here too, Andy. So Andy's all right to come on then, yeah? Right, well, let's get him the link then. Andy's all right to come on. Right, what do I do here? How do I get this link? What do I do? Do I get this link from the Google Hangouts page, or do I get one from the... Which one? You're right. Yeah, Tony Dixon. It's pseudoscience. I've been reading a paper from somebody. It's the only one I could find. I couldn't find any more online. I found one paper online, a PDF. And it's a bloke who he still believes in relativity and stuff like that. He just says it's flawed, right? And if you read it, you see that basically it screams pseudoscience, because he's even saying, oh, they leave bits out and add bits in and take bits away and all this sort of stuff to make it fit and everything else. Well, that's the definition of pseudoscience. So that's with relativity. And this bloke in this PDF says this. And he does a lot of stuff on science and stuff like that. I've had a look on his website and that. Miles Mattis, I think his name is. I'll have to, what do you call it? I might do a video on it, but basically, he basically states that there's flaws in it, but he still believes in it. But he says there's flaws in it. He says if you don't believe in relativity, then find your own arguments, he says. But there's a flaw, he says, that's in it, that there's no velocity transform. There's a velocity equation, but there's no velocity transform in relativity. Yeah, exactly, beyond belief. Can't observe, test, or repeat it, but you can believe it. That'll do, surely. Exactly, yeah. It's like a video I did a few weeks ago about space-time and stuff like that. Scientists can't see space-time and they can't measure space-time, but they need that for relativity, but they can't see it or measure it. So basically, if you can't see something and measure something, then, do you know what I mean? But then you'll have these globalists who say, well, you can't see or measure air, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist and stuff like that. Or they'll go, you can't see or measure an atom, but they don't mean they don't exist, stuff like that. But we're on about space-time here, not atoms and air. You can measure air anyway. You can measure atoms if they exist. I don't know. So I've never seen an atom, but as far as I know, they exist. I don't know. But did Steve link? I had to go. Oh, sorry, Andy. I'll do it now. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to get the link. That's all. Which link do I send? Do I send this Google Hangouts link? It's all waves, mate. Yeah. At the ocean. Yeah. Sidetrack you with fallacies like irrelevant theses and false equivalences to distract you. This mate. And Jobstein. It is a bit going live. It's a bit nerve-wracking to start off with, but I'm sure I'll get better, and I'll get better at it. But I don't want to be all this like what do you call it, perfect and all this sort of stuff. And I just want to be me, basically. I just want to be myself and just talk about whatever and just put it all out there. What I've learned and what I've experienced and stuff like that. Right, so it's that link on top of the Google Hangouts page, Rebecca's Way, yeah? So if I copy and paste that, I'm going to have to... Right, I'm not sharing the screen, am I? I'm going to have to open up a thing here and go to there. To go to gmail.com. Yeah, like I said, beyond belief, I just want to be myself, basically, and just be genuine, be myself, and just tell people about what I've experienced and what I've learned and stuff like that, and try and show people about logical fallacy, the trivium, stuff like that. So we can all learn to discern for ourselves, you know what I mean, and see through all the bullshit, basically. And that's all I want to do. Right. So I'm not sharing the screen, am I? No. So I just need to go to there, go to there. I need to go to there. Which one am I in here? Am I in the right one? No, I need to log out and log back into my other one. I've got two. I'll switch channels. Hey, here we are. Let's go like that. Right. Give me a second, and I'm just getting into my email now to send you the link. What's this? That's cool. Welcome to Gmail. Right, here we are. We've got this here. Right, let me go back to there and there. Let me copy. Hi. Oh, no, hang on. I need caps lock on. Hey, it's caps lock off. Hi. Link. Here. Right. Paste. Message has been sent. There you go. And I've sent you the link. There you go, Andy. I've sent you the link. I'll come on and distract from your lies be exposed. Smear those who know you are lying. Exactly, Sandy 1, 2, 3. Yep. Distract from the lies that are being exposed. They try and smear you. because you know they're lying when you're pointing out their logical fallacy. Like I said earlier, these trolls and that in these comment sections and everything else, you point out all their logical fallacies and stuff like that, basically, and you show them that they're logically fallacious and they're using nothing but sophist arguments and stuff like that. They know they've been caught out, so they just then attack. They use the ad hominem fallacy by just attacking the man instead of like, and they always avoid your questions. I found there was someone on about gravity the other day in a comment. I says, right, you're claiming gravity, so then I'm going to basically ask you to show me the velocity transform in relativity, right? Show me the velocity transform. That's all I said. Show me that and show me space-time. Yeah? Hi, Andy.
Hey, Steve. How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Yeah, I'm great, mate. I've been kind of linked to your channel earlier. I was doing a little live thing myself, and quite a few people said, "Oh, you want to get over to Steve's channel? He's doing his new thing." I've got to say, mate, I'm really impressed. Well, as you can tell from the chat, you know, I was putting stuff like, I'm really impressed, man, with the stuff that you know and that, mate. It's really good to hear, you know, people that are switched on. Respect to you, matey.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, cheers. But like I said, all I'm trying to do is learn to discern for myself and everything else, and I'm going to try and pass that on to other people so they can learn to discern for themselves and see through all the bullshit, basically. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And I think that's a very important thing, you know, just to stay true to who you are and like you say, just put the information out. And if it bugs people or it offends people, then so be it. You know, the truth is the truth. And I just wanted to say, yeah, it's fucking really good stuff, mate. It's a breath of fresh air to come on and hear you talk, mate. It's really good.
All right, thanks. Cheers.
Yeah. Steve, hey, and don't worry about being live, man. I'll shit myself most days when I'm on live, you know. It's not the most pleasant experience at the start, but as people get to know each other and, you know, and gain trust and stuff, it's all good. There are a few dickheads out there, but in the majority, it's it's a good thing, Steve. So, yeah, welcome to it, mate. You seem a great guy.
Yeah, cheers, thanks. Yeah, it is weird when you're looking at the, what do you call it? I'm trying to look at the camera, but I'm almost looking down here at the Hangout page or whatever. Watching myself, so it's weird.
I know, mate. I understand. Sometimes what I do is sometimes I'll hide chat. You know, if like I'm talking about something really in depth, and you need to keep your concentration. Yeah, mate, concentration. And sometimes I just hide the comments. That makes it a little bit easier sometimes. But then, of course, you want to see the feedback that you're getting. So it's I see what you're saying. It's a bit twofold, and you switch between the two. But you're doing fantastic, man, and great information. You know, I was surprised how much information you come out with just in the first 20 minutes of the hangout. That's really cool. That's really good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I started up before, and they had to shut that one down and start up again then because I shared the watch page apparently. So, the hangout page apparently. So,
yeah, mate, yeah. I think sometimes just when you put your links out, they can get sniped. But yeah, no worries there. I was just going to ask you, Steve, because I was quite interested in what you said about the Prussian method.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you go into any more detail about that? Because I've never heard of that before, man. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, well, I've got a video on my channel I've done about it, but I'll trying to remember it off the top of my head. Oh
no, it's all right. You don't have to go into it all
now. I'll just read it from this PDF because I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head because there's that much stuff and that much having to learn that much. It's just like you forget stuff every now and again, so you have to keep reminding yourself and everything else. So let me just.
I second that, mate. I second that. No worries.
Prussian industrial. Yeah, we are. Basically, it's. Let's have a look. No, I've got my notes at the bottom. Hang on, one sec. I've just got my phone here. I've just got the PDF up. Like I said, I've done a video on it, and there's a link to this PDF in the video. on my channel.
Yeah, no worries. Perhaps it'd be easier just for me to take a little bit of time on it. But when you mentioned it, you see, because obviously you sound quite well read, and I thought, oh, I've actually never heard of the Prussian method before, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna contact Steve, see what he thinks about it, and obviously give you a welcome and stuff. So
yeah, basically it's from the, I think it's a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, basically in Prussia, and it's basically being used to keep people in servitude, basically, and not give them a true education, to give them an education just to keep them just enough to run the machines and stuff like that and everything else. And where are we? It says here about it somewhere. Something about
that sounds strangely reminiscent of the epsilons, the betas, and the what was the other thing? Oh crikey, what was that from? Brave New World.
Yeah,
you know, certain classes of the society kind of bred for certain jobs, some monotonous, others like quite sophisticated, and it's all like intellectually class-based, that sort of thing. He actually reminded me of that. It was quite strange.
It says this spirit of absolute subordination and central control was also built into the Prussian educational model. Concern that too expansive a course in instruction will awaken the spirit of ability within the people, within them. It says, King Frederick systematically established a schooling model engineered to ensure that the spirit of ability within was permanently extinguished. Children were depersonalized and isolated from each other at an early age. Seated in rows, they were easily silenced, controlled, and forced to engage in rote tasks whose sole purpose was to inculcate obedience. Taught fragmented subjects that deprived them of context and perspective. Their thinking was intentionally and systematically stunted. So basically, that's what it's to do, basically, and to keep you in servitude. You know what I mean, and keep your get rid of your logical thinking and stuff like that. And
totally.
But like I said, there's a video on my channel about it. I just read the whole, even if the whole PDF, I think, and I read a Wikipedia page on it as well. There's a Wikipedia page on it as well, telling you all about it as well.
Yeah, cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, thanks for that explanation, man. That sound does. It's
yeah, that's all social society education systems like school and university and all that sort of stuff. It's all based on that, basically.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, isn't it? Do you kind of feel angry at the way things are in that respect, Steve? Like personally, I feel quite pissed off that we've been subjugated in that way. You know, I don't know how you feel on that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel pissed off about it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that basically we've all been lied to and kept down like that and given a shit education, basically, just to keep you in check and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
mate.
This is why I'm doing this now. This is why I'm trying to learn all this stuff now. The education system, that the powers that should not be, they get a different education system than the masses. So basically, I'm trying to learn as much of that as possible and pass that on.
Yeah, and that's a really noble cause in itself, mate. That's you know, that's admirable in itself, and it's always nice to kind of elevate yourself to a level whereby you can kind of draw swords with these types of people, because I suppose that's where the word elitism came from, isn't it? They're elite, they're elitist, they're above something, somebody, and that somebody is us. And like you, Steve, I ain't having it, and I don't pretend to be any kind of academic or anything, but crikey, mate, like you, I think 99% of us are capable of understanding this shit and going toe to toe with them, if we put the effort in.
Cool. Yeah, you've got to put the effort in. It's a lot of what they call it. There's a lot to take in with it all. There is with this subject as well, and all the other subjects I've looked into for the last 4 years. Like I said, I used to believe in aliens and outer space and all that sort of stuff and everything else, and ancient aliens and all that sort of stuff. I used to believe.
Don't get me started on that, man.
It wasn't hard for me to let go of all that once I come across this and everything else. because this just felt just normal basically in reality in it. So it didn't take me long to drop everything else and get rid of my beliefs and my assumptions and stuff like that. And that's what I'm working on at the minute within myself, trying to eradicate my beliefs and my assumptions to try and learn this logical fallacy and all this sort of stuff, just to like better myself as well. Do you know what I mean? So then you can, what they call it, and like I said, I'm going to try and pass all that on to other people.
Yeah. Completely admirable. Fantastic, that is, mate. So it's because I mean, I've studied certain aspects. We were talking about this earlier, where you've only got a finite amount of energy to look into certain things, and you tend to focus on whatever's most crucial to you at the time or most pertinent, And like we were saying earlier, once you focus on one area, you're always going to be missing out on another area. So I suppose it's really important to hone in and to target the most crucial information, And I think what you mentioned there about logical fallacies, and I'm guessing the trivium studies involved with all this, and
it's also the liberal arts, and it's the trivium, and there's the quadrivium as well. But the quadrivium is mainly based on like music, astronomy, geometry, and stuff like that.
Yeah, which so go on, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, the quadrivium, like I said, it's mainly based on like music, astronomy, geometry, and stuff like that, and mathematics and stuff like that. But I'm just concentrating on the trivium at the minute, which is the other side of liberal arts, which is all about logical fallacies, syllogisms, enthymemes, and stuff like that. It's like there's a good example of a syllogism, which is all men are mortal. That's the major premise. Then you've got the minor premise is Socrates is a man. Then you've got the conclusion, Socrates is mortal. Yeah? Which then you can think logically about that and go, well, yeah, if all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, therefore the conclusion is Socrates is mortal. Yeah? But then people try and use that against you by leaving out one of the premises or leaving out the conclusion. So then that's called then a truncated syllogism, which is an enthymeme, which then basically someone might turn around to you and say, all men are mortal as a major premise. They might leave out, go to a saying that Socrates is mortal, right? So then you think then that Socrates is a man, because if all men are mortal and Socrates is mortal, you think Socrates is a man. But they leave that out on purpose because Socrates might not be a man. It could be a dog or a cat or anything, basically. And that's the way of them deceiving and making you assume that Socrates is a man and stuff like that. So that seems to happen a lot, where basically to have a good solid argument, you're supposed to have a major premise, a minor premise, and a conclusion. And if they leave one of them out, then you have to fill in that blank using what you believe and what you assume and stuff like that from society and what you've been told and what you've seen on the brainwashing box in the corner and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's why I got rid of well, I ain't got rid of the TV. It's still there because I watch YouTube on it, and that's all the kids watch now. Just a bit of YouTube and on there now. I think the wife watches the soaps now and again, but that's about it now. We don't watch telly no more. I used to have Sky TV. I used to have all the channels and everything else, but I got rid of that about a year ago, and I've not looked back since. So
well, yeah, same. Have you felt any kind of difference in yourself since you turned the TV off, apart from the obvious? You ain't getting the the soft soap, the flannel, the propaganda. I've heard strange stories about even temperature dropping in the room when tellies have been removed. I mean, that's getting quite way out there, but people have noticed subtle changes, once the telly's been removed, It's, I suppose that could be for another time. It's quite intricate.
I've not heard that, no. Like I said, the telly's still there. My wife watches the soaps now and again, you know what I mean? And she catches up on the soaps and that and watches the soaps and stuff, you know what I mean? And I don't watch telly now, you know what I mean? I don't watch news or all that. I don't pick up a newspaper anymore. I used to go on bus and that and pick up the Metro on the bus and read that on the bus a long time ago, a couple of years ago, but I've not even picked that up anymore. If my kid on the bus with one of my children and they pick it up and that, I go, "What do you want to know that for? It's propaganda." And just chuck it down outside, and everyone looks at you funny. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so and whenever I'm on the bus as well, if we want at kids and that, I'll make sure I'm sat next to them, and I may always make sure that I talk loud enough so other people on the bus can hear me, and I talk about things like the trivium and logical fallacies and stuff like that, as if I'm trying to teach them that while we're on the bus, so other people hear it. So then for them to then have a look at that or whatever else. So
yeah,
and I also do stuff like about the physics of water and stuff like that, and other stuff, stuff to do with the flat earth and stuff like that. But I don't go into it in too much detail. I just like drop little bits here and there as if I'm talking to my one of my kids or whatever. And then other people hear that, and then they might go off and I also leave one of my cards on the buses and stuff like that. So when people get on and that, they might see it. And so
yeah, mate, yeah, that's right. I mean, as we progress through this kind of, I don't like to call it a truth movement, I suppose, but, you know, the awakening, crikey, I don't even want to call it that, really, you know. But, I mean, as we go on along in this journey, I suppose we do learn different techniques for getting our side of the story out, you know, or what we feel is the truth, you know. And, yeah, I totally get what you're saying about the TV and, you know, just walking into a room and switching the TV off, you can get the people in the room in hysterics. You know, it's like, "Whoa, what are you doing, man?" You know, they get quite defensive. They get quite defensive about it. But I mean, yeah, first stage, just get rid of that telly. But you know, I mean, if you've got family stuff like that, then try and get through to them and say, you know, what you're watching. Well, actually, I hear what you're saying there, Steve. I suppose what you're saying is you've got to plant seeds, haven't you? You've got to instead of coming in full ball and saying this is propaganda and you know, oh, they're brainwashing us and everybody's out to fucking, you know, infest our minds. You know, people just think you're crazy, don't they? So I'm with you there, mate. Just plant seeds and go at it steady. But I tell you, ain't it hard work? You finding it hard work?
it is tiring, yeah. All this learning, yeah, it is, yeah, it is hard. Like I said, I've only had my channel about a year now, but I've been looking into flat Earth for about about a year and a half, 2 years, and for the 2 years before that, we're looking into all the other stuff. Like I said, I mean, about the legal fiction and all that sort of stuff, and legalese, and I bought some law books and all that sort of stuff. Looking into all that, looking into natural remedies, all that sort of stuff. Big pharma. Before all that, we're like 9/11 and stuff like that. We're looking into and that as well. So, but yeah. It's been a while now, and it is getting tiring after a bit. Yeah, but just plod along, keep going. I can't stop. I've got to keep going.
Yeah. Oh, totally agree.
Yeah, got to keep going. Got to keep doing what I'm doing and try and help as many people as I can, basically along the way, and try and everything I learn and everything I see and stuff like that, I'll pass that on and make a video, put it out there, or I'm doing lives now, I'll bring it up on here and stuff like that. So then, like I said, helping other people to learn, to teach them how to discern for themselves, and so they can have a look at it themselves and stuff like that. But like I said, it is a lot to learn. There is a lot to learn. So it's like, well, I was going to say it's like being back at school, but it's not, because it's better than being back at school. So yeah.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is.
I didn't do very well at school because I ended up with foster parents and that when I was like 15, and I had a lot going on when I was a child. So I weren't, put it this way, I weren't brought up, I was dragged up. You know what I mean? So, and I had a lot going on. So I just didn't do very well at school. I think I did science. That's the only exam I took at school, science. And then since I've left school, I've done my math. I got GCSE equivalents in maths and English. I think I got a B in English and a B plus in maths, I think, or maybe the way around. I can't remember now. So, I've done them since I've left school, maths and English, but I didn't really do school that much. I had a lot going on, like I said, when I was a kid. So I was just disrupting lessons and stuff like that. I got kicked out of history, got kicked out of all lessons. Apart from science, that's the only one that stuck. Well, science and drama, they're the only two that stuck with when I was at school. So I'm guessing all that bullshit didn't go in. That's why it's been easy for me to see through it all, I think. But
yeah, no, you're right. It's almost a gift that we didn't put our heads down at school, really, you know, because the people that have, from what I know, have ended up at, you know, either uni and ended up in Starbucks, or, and this isn't everybody, but, you know,
Yeah.
or they're a project manager, you know, like really sewn up in the system, or some corporate stooge, you know. So I'm glad that I'm in the same boat, by the way, Steve. I pretty much shunned school. You know, it was yeah. One thing I was thinking about that is, you know, what is our definition of intelligence nowadays? You know, because it seems to be, and I'm sure you'll agree that, you know, intelligence nowadays seems to be just retention of knowledge, just retention of figures and the shit that they're feeding us. You know, is that really the definition of intelligence?
Well, in society, I think that is, yeah, the definition of intelligence. And like I said, that I call it the cult of society, because I've looked at the 7 characteristics of a cult. But when you PDF them and stuff like that online, it's all about religious cults. But you can take the religious connotations out of it, and you can fit everyone into society. So basically, like I said, I think society is the cult, and then the religion of that cult is the heliocentric model. So basically, I think, yeah, you're right about the definition of intelligence in this society is being able to regurgitate and take it all in and keep it in your head and be able to regurgitate it. I think the real intelligence is the people that see through all that shit. I think that's the real intelligence. Like I said earlier, I think the people with all these university and all this other stuff, all this regurgitating all this stuff, I think they're the AI. I think they've got an artificial intelligence. It's not a real intelligence. So when people are going about robots and computers, artificial intelligence, AI, and that, I think they're wrong. I think it's the people. They're the AI, because they've got a sense of intelligence which they think is intelligence, but it's not. It's an artificial intelligence because, like I said, the Prussian education system, which they've been educated in.
Ah, yeah, I like that. Fucking hell, that's interesting shit, man.
So
yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, holy cow. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's you know, and as well, society. You know, what have we become as a society nowadays? You know, yeah, I mean, we're talking about intelligence. Is in nowadays, intelligence is seen as regurgitation of facts. Within the mainstream, they don't even praise that anymore. You know, it's who's the best singer, i.e., X Factor. You know, stuff like this. Who's the best looking? Who's the best at? I mean, talking and communicating is an intelligence, you know, in itself, you know, a form of. But you know, society's dog shit. It really is. A culture is just non-existent, in my opinion. You know, instead of reveling in real intelligence, like you were saying, like the arts and, you know, these sorts of things. We're focused in on just trivialities, and I think that's part of the control system that you're alluding to. It's so complex, isn't it, Steve? You know, we were talking earlier and just saying, you know, to sift through all of this, you probably need a lifetime. You know, it's so all pervasive, it's so systematic. But crikey, I think we're on the right lines, and like I said earlier, it's refreshing to hear somebody with kind of a radically different opinion, you know, where you talk about the AI and stuff like that. So yeah, keep it going, Steve. I'm glued, mate. It's good stuff.
Cheers, thanks. I say I'm just learning myself, you know what I mean, and just passing it on what I've learned and stuff like that, you know what I mean. So other people can, like, you don't have to believe me. You shouldn't believe anybody. You should try and eradicate your beliefs and your assumptions. Just try and get a knowing. And if you don't know, say, look, I don't know. So it's okay to say you don't know. And if you don't know, then you've got something to go and do. Then you can go and find out. And then that makes you wiser and more intelligent by doing that. So
yeah.
But like I said, yeah, all society is about is like regurgitation and stuff like that. And then, like I said, there's people that have been to university and they're working in McDonald's. Other fast food outlets are available. But yeah, yeah, they're working in places like that, and Starbucks and Costa Coffee and stuff like that. And they've been to university and have got all these degrees and stuff. But like I said, I mean, that doesn't mean nothing nowadays. Like I said, it's all about who's got the best X Factor and stuff like that, best singers or whatever. But half of them can't even sing anyway. They are a mime, or they've got computer software in the background making them sound better than what they are anyway. And a lot of these musicians can't even play an instrument. And if they can play an instrument, they don't know how to read music. So it's all bullshit, basically. But I'm not saying I can play. I can't play an instrument either, and I can't sing. I mean, I'm tone deaf. But you can see that a long time ago, these musicians used to be proper, real musicians. I mean, they used to be able to play and read music and everything else. Nowadays, it's just it's instant gratification and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people in society now. So, but I think that's all done by design. I think to keep people down and keep people dumbed down and stuff. I think. And keep people chasing the money and chasing the fame and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And win on the lottery and stuff like that, saying, "Oh, I want to win these millions" and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You don't need any of that shit, basically.
Yeah, agree, mate. Yeah, where would you ultimately like to see all this going in the end, Steve? Have you got an ultimate vision for it all? You know,
I don't know. That's a hard one. That I don't know. I'm just going to keep plodding along until we get where we get. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going to happen in the future. You know what I mean? I'm not a what they call them, a seer, whatever they call them, or what they call it. Can't see the future, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm just going to keep it one day at a time and just keep plodding along and doing what I'm doing, and hopefully something will change. But I don't know if it will, to be honest, because there's too many people too deep under, basically, too dumbed down, and they can't see. They haven't got the eyes to see or the ears to hear. You know what I mean? What's happening? Because they're just regurgitating all the bullshit, basically, and that's been done by design. And I also think that another thing that's done by design and all, I think, is through the education system, people are kept with that childlike mentality. So then they have to appeal to authority, basically, and take their answers and everything else from the authority figures and stuff like that in society. So basically, nobody thinks for themselves anymore. And I think that's been done by design as well, through the education system.
Yeah, I'd agree. You have to wonder, don't you, Steve, how much of this is, how much of all this is by design? And when you start to kind of get into them realms, when you stop and think, hang on a minute, it seems like everything's sewn up. You know, that kind of plays with your mind. But I really do think to myself sometimes, to what degree is everything controlled? And the conclusion I've come to is quite worrying. It's worrying. It really is.
Yeah. I think near enough everything is. I think it's all near enough everything's done by design. It's all controlled and stuff like that. They're not gonna leave anything to chance. I don't think they're just gonna make sure they've got the finger on everything and the finger in every pie. You know what I mean? And they're gonna make sure that they've got everything sewn up. I think it's not going to be easy to change anything, if at all. I mean, because they've got all the money, all the power, all the weapons, and everything else. I mean, it's going to be hard. So. And they've got all the control over every facet of society and everything else. So it's going to be hard to change anything, I think. But we can try. That's all we can do. We can try. We can plod along. We can try. And like I said, I'm going to keep doing stuff about logical fallacy and all sorts of stuff to help people see through it all and all that sort of stuff. And that's all we can do. We can just keep planting those seeds and just hope that people start like seeing things for what they really are and stuff like that. But I can't see too many people like that, to be honest. So I know that's pessimistic and that, you know what I mean? I don't mean to sound pessimistic or all that, but I think that's
no, you don't sound pessimistic, mate. No, not at all. I think you're realistic, if anything.
So I don't want to put people down or all that, or like put people off and stuff like that, because that's not my intention. My intention is to like try and keep going as much as I can, and every time I get attacked by a troll or anything like that, it just makes me want to do it even more. It just it puts a fire under me just to like boost me a bit more, just to like, oh shit, let's get into it some more. Let's learn something more. Let's get in there. So
yeah, mate. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they're hurting themselves really by trolling and stuff like that. Because not all, you know for a fact that some of these trolls, they're not just average common man and stuff like that. Some of these trolls, because they've been there for years, day in, day out. You know what I mean? Always there. You know what I mean? So there's got to be some sort of agenda behind it, I think. But like I said, I mean, and if there is, then basically it's backfiring on them. because there's people like me and this Beyond the Imaginary Curve, this Harry Growler, there's other channel, a lot of good channels out there that are keeping it real and learning this stuff and passing this stuff on and stuff like that. And I show people how to see through it all and stuff like that, all the bullshit. So basically, if we keep doing this, then hopefully more people will see it, and then more people will learn from it, and they will see through all the bullshit, and then they'll be like, "Oh my god," do you know what I mean? So, oh my goodness, whatever you want to say. But yeah. So like I said, once they attack and they're doing stuff like that all the time, you know what I mean? When I get one, I just point out the logical fallacy constantly, you know what I mean? And I say, look, I ain't got time for useful idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what they are. That's what they are. You're right, Steve. Useful idiots at the end of the day, and I completely agree. I've been around a little bit, you know, and I've seen these trolls, and there's certain people there actually that, and I don't want to. What I'm not going to do is spend too much time on this, because this is obviously the old phrase of feeding the trolls. But I will say this, since you mentioned about the some trolls being, I think you're alluding to being a bit too honed in the skills, and most of them are complete fucking idiots, you know. But I've had a few over the years that will befriend you, tickle your ego, you know, because we've all got egos. I know a lot of people like to deny that, but I think we've all got an ego to some degree. I think you'll agree with that. And yeah, some, and then I'd say probably 1-2%. They're very good at what they do, you know. But your strategy for, you know, chucking him overboard sounds pretty good to me. And I've got my own little strategy. So yeah, mate, I'm with you on that, you know. But yeah, I agree. I think it is. I think there is something to that, but I think that's the nature of the beast, and ultimately what we're dealing with. You know, it's part of the game, I think, Steve. So go on, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, what they call it. Yeah, everyone's got a bit of an ego. You know what I mean? Even I've got a bit of an ego. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to eradicate that. I'm trying to say, no, hang on a minute. No, you know what I mean? Trying to get rid of that, because it stops you. I mean, so holds you back. So you need to get rid of that, and as much as possible, which I think I've done. Do you know what I mean? There might be a little bit left there still, but I'm trying to get rid of that last little bit. Like I said, and with my beliefs, trying to eradicate them and all, and assumptions and stuff like that, trying to get rid of all that sort of stuff. I think I've come along pretty well, I think, over the last 4 years. So eradicating them. So, but that's what you need to do. You see, you need to eradicate these things and stuff like that, so you can get out there and you can do stuff like this. Because at one point, I wouldn't have dared do it like this. You know what I mean? I'd have been too shy or whatever else. Because I always used to be shy, and the shy type sat in the corner and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Before I come across all this sort of stuff. So since I come across all this sort of stuff, I started learning all this sort of stuff, learning all the stuff and that, the trivium and all this subject and everything else. I've come out a lot. I wouldn't say come out, it's not the right word. I've come out of myself a lot more, you know what I mean? And I've like got rid of all that shyness and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I was always like that. I was very shy. I mean, I couldn't talk to people or anything. I couldn't even be on camera. I used to hate being on camera because my voice sounds a lot different on camera than it does in my head. I think that's the same with a lot of people. When you hear yourself talking, your voice sounds different than what it is when other people hear you talking, and you realise that, and you think, oh, hang on a minute. I don't like the sound of my voice on camera, me. So I don't know if it's a mixture of all different accents, because I've lived all over the UK, but I don't know, because I've lived in London, Coventry, Huddersfield. I've lived up north, a bit further up north. I've travelled all over. So yeah, I think it's a mixture of all different accents, I think. So it makes me sound a bit weird, I think. But I'm not bothered about that now, to be honest. I've got over all that now. Like I said, I used to be really shy and stuff like that, but to do this takes it has took a lot for me over the last few years to get rid of all that and to be able to do this. But I'm glad that I have. So
yeah, all the power to you, Steve. You know, you seem a great guy, and you've definitely got your priorities straight. That's for sure. And yeah, you're an interesting guy, man. Like I say, it's a breath of fresh air, you know. And going on to what you're saying about ego, you know, none of us would survive without some degree of ego, you know. And in some respects, ego can be very healthy. You know, it's. I mean, if you want to take an example, top of my head is Muhammad Ali. You know, he was the greatest. You know, he knew he was the greatest, and you know, without that degree of ego, he probably wouldn't have been the greatest. You know, and that's just one kind of example, one microcosm of what we're talking about. But again, on another point, I can relate to you on what you say about being an introvert. You know, like I was saying to you earlier when you said, "Oh, you know," I think you said, "You know, you're new to this and you haven't been on live and stuff like that." The first thing I typed, mate, was, "Do not worry, I shit myself most of the time on live streams." You know, stuff like this, and you know, and just one last point on what you said about the trivium and how that's enabled you to kind of, in your words, come out. I know what you're saying, don't worry. But what I was going to say on that, Steve, is, I mean, and everybody else can, I mean, can you imagine what we'd be like as people now if we'd have been taught the trivium and advanced methods of psychology and let's call it the inside knowledge? Can you imagine what kind of people would be now? I would guess that would be completely different, you know. It's
sorry.
No, you're all right. Go on, mate.
Yeah, I think, like you said on that, if everybody had been taught the trivium, the liberal arts and stuff like that at school, and everyone had all that, there'd be none of this bullshit going on, because everyone would be able to discern and see through it all. So they won't get away with what they're doing. That's why it was taken away by design, so they could do this stuff and everything else. So they could stay up there where they are, like I said, so they don't have to lift a finger and stuff like that. So everyone runs around after them and wipes their asses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, but if everyone had that education, I think the place it'd be a lot better place, because we'd be living in a lot better place if everyone knew all that stuff. Because everyone would be able to see through all the bullshit. There'd be no lying or anything like that. No brainwashing or all like that. I mean, they wouldn't be where they are now. The people that are not supposed to be where they are now, the powers that should not be, I call them. But yeah, they wouldn't be where they are now. They'd lose all the money, all the power, everything else, and they'd have to fend for themselves, basically. So,
yeah, definitely. If you could give two examples, just two names of people that we would call the powers that shouldn't be, what two names would you give, Steve? And I'll think of mine. It's tricky, isn't it?
I don't know, because there's a few, isn't there? You know what I mean, there's all the royal families, not just the British one, but all the other countries as well. There's the big leaders of the big churches and stuff like that, like the Pope and stuff like that. And there's, like I said, the royal families and stuff like that. I mean, the big banking families and stuff like that own everything that, like we've seen, that they've financed it both sides of every war since Napoleon and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's all the people like that, I think. You know what I mean? But there could be others. I mean, there could be more. There could be people above them. You know what I mean? That are telling them what to do. You know what I mean? I don't know, because I've not looked that deep into all that. So, you know what I mean? So,
I think that's very honest of you, Steve. And yeah, I think I'll sideline out of that question myself. Actually, I agree. I think there's more searching to be done. You know, I think most people off the top of their head would say something like the Rothschilds or Rockefellers, but I totally agree with what you're saying. I suspect that there's probably people above that, you know. But in saying that, you know, just to name these people, is that enough? Is that enough? You know, I'm not asking you that. It's
you're asking yourself that,
yeah. I'm posing that question to myself because ultimately, you know, a name, does that matter? I don't know. But you know, what the scheme is, what they ultimately want from us, I suppose that is what matters, you know. But yeah, it's a minefield, Steve. Absolutely, mate. But like I say, I think you're definitely on the right track, and hats off to you, mate. Hats off to you.
Cheers, yeah.
So I just wanted to sorry, mate.
You got a channel then?
Yeah, I've got a little channel. I did a few things, but I went offline for a while just because I had some shit going on at home, like. But yeah, just a tiny little channel. I just do some live shows now and again, you know. So I
I'll put a link in the description and a link in the chat to your channel if you like.
Yeah, that'd be cool, mate. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. That's brilliant. But just wanted to come on, Steve, and give you my support. And like I say, it was refreshing to hear you. And I wish you all the luck in the future. And perhaps we can talk again. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah. So I've got my first meet up next Saturday, a week tomorrow.
Ah, right. Yeah. I ain't been to one myself yet. I know there was one in Birmingham up the road from me, so I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground this time and hopefully get to the next one. So you never know, I might bump into you.
Right. Yeah. So I used to live down that way. I used to work in Birmingham a few years back. I used to live down that way. I wasn't living down that way when I worked there, but I used to live in Coventry when I was a teenager and stuff. And I used to work on, do you know the bull ring?
Yeah.
What do you call it? I used to work on that as a builder, refurbing. We've all putting all new doors in and skirting boards and stuff like that a few years back when they did it up.
Oh wow. Okay, that's cool. You're not far away from me then, Steve. I'm in Nuneaton.
Yeah, I know where Nuneaton is, yeah.
And
so in Coventry, I've worked in Birmingham a bit, and I know Nuneaton and that, yeah. And I'm in Sheffield now, so and I've been all over the country, mate, living everywhere. So
yeah. It's interesting what you said earlier about your accents. You're saying that you've got a whole range of accents, and yeah, I can concur with that, you know, because in Nuneaton you're kind of stuck between Leicester, Birmingham, Hinckley, and Coventry, and each one of them has a different way of speaking. So I'm kind of a hybrid, you know, where I've got all these different nuances in the way I speak and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I can sympathise with you on that as well, Steve. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I've got living all over. So, but I was born in Yorkshire, and I'm gonna end it in Yorkshire as well. I'm gonna be here till whenever. But yeah, I'm gonna stay in Yorkshire now.
Okay, that sounds a very definite statement.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go and live anywhere else. I've got family here now. Do you know what I mean? I don't get on with my family, but I've got wife and kids now, and I've got my wife's family and stuff like that. So that's all I've got now at the minute. So
sounds good, mate. All right then, Steve. Well, yeah, it was a pleasure, man, and yeah, keep rocking, and like I say, hopefully we'll speak again soon. So yeah, keep it up, man. Sound.
yeah, nice one.
All right, you take care, yeah.
You too, yeah.
Okay, mate. See ya.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Cheers.
Ta-da.
Right then, I'm gonna put the link, the description. Frank Skinner Room 101 was always good. I used to like Room 101 actually. Yeah, we're good. Midnight Gardener. Right, I'm gonna find this channel now. What would I do here now? Is he come back in the chat? I'll just click on his thing when he comes back in the chat, and I'll go to his channel and I'll leave a link to this chat and his channel. He wants to go over and have a look. Yep. So thanks for coming on. My first. Right, I'm gonna click on that now. Go to channel. Just gonna leave a link in the chat. Here we are. Some live feeds here. Let's have a look. How do we do this here now? Right, have a look. Copy. Paste. Send. There's a link there to Andy. Sorry, I forgot your name. AKA Rudolph Hessiansack. A link to his channel there. I'm going to subscribe now, actually. There you go, subscribed. Bell icon. There you go. Right, so what we saying? Where are you sending us, man? The caller that's just been on, got a channel, he does some live streams, Midnight Gardener. Andy, aka Rudolph Hessiansack. It's a link to his channel. Tell him I put the link in. Baron. He's off 66 subs now too. I've just subbed him as well, so I don't want to be much longer. I don't think it's 12:15. I want to go for a cigarette and have a cup of tea, I think. Can't go to bed yet though. I might sup a little bit more actually. I can't go to bed yet though because wife's gone out. She's not took her keys. She couldn't find them because the taxi had turned up. So how long have we been on for? Started streaming 1 hour ago. I'm not subbing now, no. Luke, you lovely bugger, you. Is that it? What's that say? Hey, Steve, look at what I have uploaded about family. Talking about. Yeah, we'll do. I don't. Let's have a look. Go to your channel. Subscribed. Just subbed Tom Corner. I'll have a look later. Likely. How are we all doing in the chat? No probs for what, Sandra? I don't. Did I say? I can't remember. Yeah, I'll check Tom Corner's channel out after. Oh no, it's the wrong one. That one. I'm just gonna put a. The link to Tom Corner's channel. If anyone wants to go and have a look, check it out. Tommy's awesome. It's RV. Sound like amateur hour. I used to watch RV a long time ago. Well, a couple of years ago. I unsubscribe from a lot of them bigger channels now. There's only one big channel I subscribe to now. I try and stick to the smaller channels now. I think the real people. I know I'm not saying RV's not real. I'm just saying I stick to the smaller channels that I know that are real people, like the common man. Yeah, trying to let's say get this trivium out there, and so people can learn to discern for themselves and stuff like that. Hi, Flatter Code Music. How you doing? Stephen Watson. Eyes Wide Shut. How you doing? Small is better, Flat Earth, dude. Well, it depends who you ask, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. Keep it real. Keep it genuine. Keep it real. Just be yourself, basically. Don't put on no airs and graces or pretend to be somebody that you're not. And don't talk bullshit. That's the only advice I can give. Don't talk bullshit. Don't put on no airs and graces and keep it real. Just be yourself. Yeah, you're right, Tom Corner. I'm not. Subs don't bother. Don't matter. It's not the subs that matter. It's the views. It makes sure people see and get the truth and see the truth. That's what it's about to me. So yeah, I second that, Tom Corner. Subs don't matter. I'm not bothered about subs. It's the views, and make sure the truth gets out there and people learn to discern for themselves. So yeah. I think I'm going to wrap it up in a minute, I think, for tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll come back on tomorrow night about same time. But I've got Beyond the Imaginary Curve will be on first, and then I think Jamie Brown's coming on for a little bit. I'll let have him on for. We'll let him be on for a little bit before I come on. I don't want to, what they call it, infringe on his live. So see what time he finishes. So yeah, you're right, Sandra. Not about the views either. YouTube, they're suppressing views and suppressing likes and stuff like that, and hiding the good channels at the bottom out of the way so people don't see them and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, I'll be on tomorrow night. Beyond the Imaginary Curve will be on first. I'll be watching that, and then Jamie Brown's coming on after that, about 10ish. So he'll be on for a bit, and I'm going to try and get on towards the end of his, I think, or at the end of his. If it's not too late, if it ends up being too late, then I'm going to leave it till Sunday or another day. So yeah. Thanks everyone for coming. Much appreciated for you watching. Thank you, Sandy123. Much appreciated. Like I said, I'm just doing what I have to do, basically. This is what I have to do. If I've got to do it, I've got to do it. That's it. Like I said earlier, I says what they call it. All these people, these trolls and stuff like that, they keep coming with a logical fallacy and sophist arguments and stuff like that, and gaslighting and all that sort of stuff. It just makes me want to do it even more. Like I said, so I'm going to say goodbye. Good night to everybody. You have a good weekend if I don't see you tomorrow night. So cheers, everyone. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea, I think. My cup of tea's calling. And with my 2 spoons of honey. Keep hammering the fallacy, Steve. People are lazy. Most people are, yes, beyond belief. I think that's by design, I think. Yeah, we all need to get out there. We all need to speak the truth. We all need to tell people the truth and teach people the trivium and stuff like that. So everyone can see through it all the mainstream bullshit, everything else. Yes, flag of music, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. I don't use sugar anymore, I use honey now, so wish I could afford Manuka, but it's too expensive. It's like £15 for a tiny little jar. So I can't afford that. I'll just buy the cheap stuff and just put that in my tea now. Better for you. So bye folks. I'm going to go for a ciggy and have a cup of tea. Like I said, I'll probably see you tomorrow. We'll see. Thanks, everyone.